As I promised, I'm gonna be answering a few questions from this post, and I've got my computer right beside me, so let's get started. So, the first question is, any tips to get myself into a reading habit? I really want to read, but what if I found a difficult word? What would happen as well if I picked the hard book? Would it feel overwhelming? To answer this question, the first thing is you have to choose a book that you're interested in so that you don't get bored reading that book. So find any niche or topic that you're interested in and choose a book from that category. The next thing is, what if you find a hard word? Well, that's normal. So what I like to do is I just keep reading because I read the whole sentence and I understand what it's trying to say, even though I don't understand every single word. So I suggest you do the same. But when you're reading and you find a word and you couldn't understand the whole thing anymore, well, in that case, you can look up the word in the dictionary. Also, if you choose a very hard book, can you still read it? Well, in my opinion, you can. That's why I like to read ebooks, because they are PDF files, so you can copy the text and paste. So what you can do is copy the text from the book and paste it in ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to rewrite it using easier words. So by doing that, you'll be able to understand the book. Alright, let's move on to the next question. So this person is saying it's easy to use some words in writing, but it's hard to pronounce when it comes to communication. Well, in this case, the words you use in writing and speaking is a little bit different, because in writing, you have to be formal, but in speaking, you can be informal. You can just use everyday words. So this means that you don't really need to use the words you use in writing for speaking because they are difficult. You can use other words, like easier words in speaking. If you really want to, you can try. But for me, I personally like to just use easy words so that everybody understands me. But in writing, of course, I will use more advanced words. So this person is saying that he's stuck at intermediate level, and is he doing something wrong? Well, to answer that, no, you're not doing anything wrong. To get from intermediate to upper intermediate to advanced, it takes a while. The intermediate level and the upper intermediate level is quite different. You know, the gap is quite huge. When I was at intermediate level, I also thought the same way. Like, I am not improving, my English sucks. But it's only a matter of time. You just keep learning. Sometimes the efforts you put in, you cannot see it until you see the result. So just keep learning, and eventually, one day you will realize that, you have passed that intermediate level. It takes a while, so be patient. And this is the last question. How do you overcome being nervous when you speak English? So the thing is, you're only nervous when you're not confident enough. You think you cannot do it, you're not good enough. Well, in that case, I'd like to share something that I learned. The first thing is nobody cares about you. Like your pronunciation, your word usage. If you're not sitting in an exam room, you're not taking a test, then you're fine. Nobody really cares about you. Another thing is, if you are able to do what your level meant to do, then you're good. If you're at an intermediate level, don't expect yourself to do as well as an advanced level learner. If you're a beginner and you speak like a beginner, that means you're good. You're doing great. If you're intermediate and you're speaking like an intermediate, that means you're good. That's what you have to remember. Okay, so before we conclude, many of you guys asked me how to improve my pronunciation. How do I do this? How do I do that? Well, I have a lot of videos for those topics, so you guys can go check. And one of you guys asked me where I'm from. I'm from Myanmar, but I'm currently studying in Japan. Yeah, so I think I answered all of your questions. Thank you for learning, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.